So, my name is Lapithi, and the process with which I work is that before I begin my new work, I structure my thoughts by writing down what I want to say beforehand. This helps me to bound myself within the limits I want to set for myself. And then, of course, I might divert from my initial thoughts, but always under my control. So, my notes. So let's begin by reading my description of what Amphora is. It has a diameter of 22 centimeters and a height of 60, and it was made in September 2018. On half of the surface is a handwritten text, a quote from Gottfied Semper's the Stil. A moment. Okay, this is it. A quote from Gottfied Semper's Stil. And the quote I took out of this book is, "Every artistic creation presumes the destruction of reality, of the material, is necessary if form is to emerge as a meaningful symbol, as an autonomous human creation. Prolegomena, practicalAesthetics, material transformation, cultural heritage, artistic motive, it's all in there." And on the other hand, on the other half of this amphora is a hand-painted 7th century BC archaic bird with a tree branch, as seen in the Cyprus Archaeological Museum and reproduced today by the Handicraft Center, a government-sponsored foundation committed to preserving Cypriot heritage and handicrafts. At the center of the amphora is a stainless steel sink fitter. And here are the concept notes. For the most part, an amphora was tableware, or sat close to the table, was intended to be seen, and was finally decorated as such by master painters. Stoppers of perishable materials, which have rarely survived, were used to seal the contents. This water-carrying amphora today is replaced by the tap, hence the contemporary household sink gadget has exact copy of the painting of the 7th century bird with a branch, as seen in one of the amphorae of the Cyprus Archaeological Museum, and the ready-made sink stopper on its lid. Ready-mades, an art term usually associated with Duchamp, are ordinary manufactured objects that challenged conventional notions of what is and what is not art. So, notes on cultural heritage. For me, it implies values and traditions. It's a shared bond. It's our belonging to a community. It represents our history, our identity, our bond to the past, to our present, and the future. So as an artist, I spend a great deal of my time visiting museums. And on my way out from many of these museums, I pass by the gift shop. I believe that today we live in a culture of copies, replicas, or reproductions. Within these art museum gift shops, one can often find plaster casts of famous sculptures, copies of ancient amphoras, postcards, magnets, posters, etc. Copies, reproductions in all different sizes of art objects held in the museum itself. And I always wonder who makes them. And I collect them myself. I'll show you a few later. In Cyprus, the Cyprus Handicraft Center has trained staff to make the most excellent copies in clay painting and clay pottery with an aim to preserve cultural heritage. So museums are commonly described as storehouses of the real, authentic material object, yet today they are eagerly embracing old and new copying technologies, not only for selling in their gift shops, but also for exhibiting inside their museum spaces, from handcrafted to 3D printing of museum copies, sometimes even replacing the authentic that either belongs to another museum or is lent. And to complete multimedia, sensorial, immersive, digital exhibitions, usually of old masters, such as, the Caravaggio art revitalized. You don't really see the actual paintings anymore. You see digital versions of them blown up. So this has provoked debates which have produced binary oppositions, the original versus the copy, the material versus the immaterial, the real versus the virtual, and the authentic versus the unauthentic. And not to mention the interrogation of fakes and forgeries, that's another thing. So, to sum up, the water amphora is placed on a rotating stand with a microwave mechanism, another household as the water jar was, and merges different chronological styles from the replica of the bird of antiquity to the modern household ready-made sink via the German architect Gottfied Semper, who spent his life studying and writing about the classics in the style in the technical and tectonic arts. So this rotating display stand to exhibit this amphora made by the artist and myself would be the optimum way to exhibit this piece. The rotational mechanism, as I said, is taken from the microwave. So, as far as answering the question, what is Cypriot cultural heritage, I would answer with another question. Whose national heritage? For example, does Aphrodite belong to the archaeologist and close friend of mine, Jacqueline Garagiori, would often describe Aphrodite as the gift of Cyprus to Europe. The Birth of Venus by Botticelli was inspired by the Greek myth of Aphrodite. So who does that belong to? Italy or Cyprus? Cultural heritage belongs to all of us. So we're talking about Cypriot national heritage. National heritage, there should be no boundaries, no borders. No national. Heritage is for all nationalities. It's all interconnected. We're all one.